tapped into the Rion Frequency, where truth cuts deep, growth hits different, and culture leads the conversation. Hosted by Rion, this is the Come Up for the Culture.
I want
Let's
to speak
elevate.
about black excellence. The fact that my brown skin feels heaven sent. When the wind blows, I feel the touch of heaven's breath. You brainwash your intelligence is evident. Evidence we built some pyramids that claim it's aliens. Melanin skin absorbs the light inside you radiant. Elevate your conscience, stuck inside the office. Employee of the month, they won't even put that in your coffin. Let's talk about the profit, the margins of spilled your bonnet. Drinking water from your faucet, just to give you droplets. But you in the club, it's popping. Penny, that's the option. Pictures that you prompted, but forget it cause you locked in. Living in the moment. Ryan said it's token, if you black poor, you broken. Black excellence, when they spill our blood, it's loading. The third eye, the karmic gates is open, but death is better than bondage. Yeah, that's the option. Stay cautious, stay dangerous. You don't need no accolades, nigga, you famous. Stay dangerous.
What's up, world? You are now tapped into the Rion Frequency, and this is where thoughts meet elevation, and we remember who the fuck we are. I'm your host, Rion. Today's question is, why are white people so mad? There's been a lot that's happened in the last few days. Well, honestly, this last week that has prompted a lot of white folks to just show their rage. It started with your boy Hulk Hogan kicking the can. Black folks wasn't sad. They did not cry at all. They bought receipts. In 2015, he was caught on tape, just dropping more N-words than most mixtapes. And he was talking about how he didn't want his daughter dating black men. Of course, she was dating black men because naturally that's the karma for most races is that their daughters end up dating black men. But black men, be cautious. Don't be falling for them snow bunnies. But nobody wished death upon Hulk Hogan. Like we didn't collectively as a group like get together and say, hey, we hope he dies. We just didn't care whether he lived or he died. Now white people are mad because we're not publicly mourning a racist that disrespected us in his life. So there really wasn't like a rest in peace moment for Hulk Hogan. It was really just a rest in accountability. Black culture in itself has selective grief. You disrespect us and we reserve the right to keep that same energy, even in your death. And that's what we did. So white folks are mad. And we also had the wonderful American Eagle. Nothing more American than a pair of American Eagle jeans. They dropped this ad that was, it was like a casual Friday at Auschwitz, Almost talking about it like they were inspired by eugenics. As if it wasn't going to be abundantly clear what the fuck they were doing. The only thing that the marketing team really didn't do in the American Eagle ad was honestly just incorporate that this ad was brought to you by racism, sprinkled in with a little bit of Nazi energy. For those of us that are less enlightened on this journey, eugenics is literally the blueprint that Adolf Hitler used to craft his racial purity in the Holocaust. And they are glamorizing it like it's a new cologne, Oppression by American Eagle. I'm fucking done. But it's so unserious just because of how angry white people are about just the silliest things. And when we call it out, and I say we collectively as people who are not Nazis, when we call it out, the Nazi people are angry as hell. Not everything's about race. I don't know how you could interpret that commercial any differently, but I did want to showcase a few of the parodies. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If I need to take it down later, I will. But one of my favorite is from a creator on TikTok. His name is Brad Doggett, and bro is funny as shit. This is my favorite parody of the original, so I'm gonna play the original here, and then I'm gonna play his version of it.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, big boobs. Sorry, what was my line? Oh yeah, it's hair color, personality, and eye color. Okay, doing great. You got this. Okay. Genes are what white people pass down to their offspring. Whoa, Sydney, remember what we talked about? Leave the white part out. Just say genes. Okay, we'll do it again. Okay. All right, you got this. Some people have good genes and some people have bad genes. Whoa, Sydney, that's the old script, remember? Right, okay, right, yeah. Remember, we're going with the new script. Just say, parents pass down genes to their offspring. Okay, not offspring, it's offspring. Okay, right, yeah. Then just say the traits and we should be good. Okay, Sid? We've done 8 takes now, so hopefully we can get it on this one, okay? Oh, okay, that's my bad. You got this, all right? Take 9!
And Brad never fails to entertain, ever. So I hope you enjoyed his parody of the American Eagle bullshit. We peeped it on Black Twitter, and we lit them up. Like, we lit their ass all the way up, and they deserved it. Every emoji, every meme, just everything. White people deserve that shit as they continue to try to push racist shit into mainstream media, thinking that we don't know what the fuck it is. I typically don't even cover like current events. That's not what I try to talk about on this podcast, but this particular episode is different just because this week has just been so crazy. Like, I had an initial episode already scripted, written, ready to deliver for y'all, and it was supposed to be about Black history, and I'm still going to make sure that gets out. It'll be next week's episode, but this week, wow. Today I was scrolling TikTok, and that's the reason why I halted the episode and decided to just kind of almost freestyle this one, because I saw this video of a young man. He's a door-to-door salesman. And if anybody's ever done that profession, then you understand how fucking difficult it is. And then you can add in the elements of the Florida heat. If you live in Florida like I do, you understand that that's not a job that I would fucking take, because I'm not going door to door. 1, because it's hot as fuck. But 2 is the very reason why he posted this video.
He's recording us. That's right, record me.
Take your black ass out of here,
They're fucking
motherfucker.
soliciting the long.
Take your black ass out of here. You fucked up. Don't come cussing my door, motherfucker. Fuck you in your phone. Get your fucking hands to me, motherfucker.
Get off my property.
Get the fuck out of here. Record that shit. Come back again, I'll fucking hang your ass.
Now. Boys, I hope you show your employer. Show your employers, because this is what your employees
You
do.
dumb fucking nigger. There's no soliciting. Get your black ass the fuck out of here. You come back again, we'll hang you.
Don't come over his house either.
He didn't want nothing. There's no soliciting. Get your black ass out of here. Fuck.
White people are mad in America. They are so fucking angry. And this video prompted me to just want to talk about, like, why are white people so mad? And we're asking a very serious but unserious fucking question. But, like, really though, like, ask yourself, why the fuck are white people so mad? And I'm not talking about just like slightly aggravated or angry. I'm saying they are mad, like red in the face ass mad, like frothing at the mouth. Their veins are popping out of their neck mad. Why the fuck are they so mad? I'm talking about the white folks that have the Fox News Wi-Fi package with the All Lives Matter bumper sticker, you know, the thin blue line. I'm talking about them. Why the fuck are they so mad? I want to dig into this rage of fury that they have. I want to dig into their ancestral aneurysms, if you will, that they seem to have whenever they see black joy, black power, or just black folks minding their fucking business. Let's just start with the ancestral insecurity, okay? We'll start there and see if we can make our way back. So white supremacy has been mad really ever since the Moors taught them how to bathe. And For those of you who do not know, the term Moors is historically referred to by Muslim inhabitants of the North Africa or the Iberian Peninsula, which is in modern day terms is what would be Spain or I guess Portugal. They were a really diverse group of people. Honestly, it wasn't just like African, but the Moors played a significant role in really just shaping all types of culture, agriculture, intellectual life as we know it, as well as contributing advancements into fields of science and mathematics. They've been mad ever since, the Moors, these folks were teaching them how to, wash their ass. White people still not cleaning their ass correctly. There was a podcast clip of some white girls talking about how they don't use washcloths because it's dirty. I can't think of anything dirtier than sticking your bare ass hand to wash your ass crack. I can't think of anything dirty here. So, interestingly enough, though the Moors taught them, I don't think that they've learned yet. So we got to understand that this is not just a political thing. This is a psychological thing, okay? When white folks have built their whole identity, they built their whole brand around being superior, they only found out that history really isn't on their side. It's the reason why they try to hide so much of it is because that truth alone is going to cause mental combustion somewhere. If you think about white rage, okay, it's rooted in fear. It's fear of this erasure, the fear of equality, the fear of karma. And it's part of the reason why, when these white folks that are talking about they're building this community out in the Arkansas Ozarks, it's the reason why they're saying, we want to preserve our culture. I don't know what white culture really is. Historically, white culture has just been colonization, mass amounts of genocide and rape, pillaging, and just overall theft. Everything that I just said is fucking illegal. But the projection that, all black people or all the immigrants or everybody is criminals, again, projection. Karma has receipts. I promise you she does. Like, she got more than we can fathom. So let's do a history check real quick, okay? So the Reconstruction, white folks burned down, okay, whole black towns, while the people in the Ozarks is being like, oh yeah, we hope, we want to see all black communities. No, the fuck you don't. Historically, no, the fuck you don't. I mean, y'all can go out of Ozarks. I do not give a fuck. A lot of hills have eyes looking ass children are about to be born out of there. And during the civil rights movement, the FBI called Martin Luther King the most dangerous man in America. And now we got Obama, as of recently. When he got elected, half of the country, okay, like lost their fucking mind. Just ape shit. Went crazy. And why is that? Because racism is a literal mental illness. I'm not just saying that it's a mental illness. Like, clinically, according to the DSM-5, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, okay, this is how it defines a mental illness: a behavioral or psychological pattern that causes significant distress or impairment in personal functioning. Look, let's just test the theory, okay? Delusional thinking. Delusional thinking. The white replacement theory. The idea that all of these other ethnicities of people are going to replace white people. We'll take it a step further. Obsessive behavior. Following black folks around stores, neighborhoods, okay? Building whole hate groups. I mean, if that's not obsessive behavior, I don't know what is. Paranoia. They're taking our jobs. What jobs is that? Exactly is that? Like, what exactly is that? But aggression under perceived threat. That, these same police are pulling the triggers on unarmed people of color. This idea, this delusion thinking, fantasizing about, black men coming in to, like hurt them in the middle of the night or some shit. Like, I see these all over the place. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Are you guys okay? Seriously. This is not just for white folks. This is for anybody with the white ideologies. You know what I mean? That has a little bit, has an IV drip of white supremacy. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? This is coming from a place of compassion. Are you okay? But I digress. What I just talked about, delusional thinking, okay, the obsessive behavior, paranoia, aggression, under perceived threat, that is the clinical diagnosis. Okay. It's got clinical diagnosis written all over it. And racism isn't just hate. It's pathology. Systemic, yes. Institutionalized, absolutely. But it's got its own symptoms, its patterns, its compulsions. Whiteness as an identity, as I just said, when tied to supremacy, becomes like a defense mechanism against their own insecurities. So are y'all good? And this was made very evident during the Black Lives Matter movement. You had black folks and humanitarian warriors marching the streets and saying, not saying Black Lives Matter more, just saying, as a baseline, Black Lives Matter. Not less, not more, they just matter. And white America was acting like we said more. They act like we was about to ban, cuslings, sister wives, like we weren't about to do that, right? You can keep all that shit. We're just saying Black Lives Matter. But that's because black visibility equals white vulnerability. And really Obama kind of turned that shit on his head. A black man in the White House was really a mirror. They saw that the mirror said to them that they are no longer in power. And just like that, you have the Tea Party, you have QAnon, you have just white tears in HD. And ever since then, we've had more and more instances of white people becoming a little bit more brandish, just day after day. But all coming from this like aggressive place. Because really, it's a symptom of exposure. What is white rage? It's not even anger. It is almost like a reflex. It is a reaction. It is a tantrum. It's just dressed a little bit differently than a toddler, in maybe some khakis and a tiki torch. And Dr. Carol Anderson broke it down in her book, titled, very appropriately, White Rage. She said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, white rage isn't about visible violence. It's about policies, laws, and structures that rise up every time black progress shows its face. So let me just say this, okay? We get rights, and then they get regulations, okay? We get free, and they get fearful. We build, and then they burn, and that's the cycle. That's their rage. It's not emotional. It's really just strategic. This country has never wanted us to rise up. Because of that, when we do, they're always throwing tantrums and they're always introducing a tax code. Just hear me out, okay? Listen to some historical facts, okay? After the Civil War, right, there were black codes. We talked about this in episode 1. And after that was the civil rights movement, so we progress on forward. And then they introduced mass incarceration, right? And then after Obama, they sent the orange Mussolini himself, Donald Trump. He literally came in like he was sent in the spirit of Jim Crow. And this rage tends to show up like voter suppression, police militarization, and fear-mongering. And, of course, what would the world be without white women crying on TikTok? Where would we be? And why do they do this? Okay, because whiteness in itself, when unhealed and unchecked, believes that equality is a threat. It's not a win for everybody. But why would that be? Why is equality a threat to white people? Why would they not want us to level the playing field? The silence is loud in the answer because their thought process is simple. If black people get equal rights, then where does that leave me? And honestly, it was the same place that you was already at, bro. It's just without the cheat codes. Why would you be mad about that? It's almost like you needed to cheat to win. we can actually take this a step further. You know, the fear of the free with Fred Hampton in the room. You know, Fred Hampton was only 21 years old, but he was talking like he already read tomorrow. Honestly, the white power structure, like they feared Fred Hampton, not because he was violent, but because he was just so brilliant, like in the mind. Fred said that you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. And that quote right there made J. Edgar Hoover sweat through his toupee. Like, he understood the clarity that Fred Hampton had. Thus, you see white supremacists, you know, they don't just hate black skin. That's not what they hate. They fear black unity. They fear black thoughts. They fear the black mind, the genius that we have, because they understand, like I said, it's all projection. They don't just hate, you know, the resistance. They fear the unity. Fred wasn't just organizing black folks. Like he was linking them with poor whites and poor Latinos and making this rainbow coalition. And that's what they were scared of. He was ultimately uniting the oppressed. And white power can't function if it's not oppressing something, if there's no oppression and the oppressed start to get organized. Fred also said that we're not going to fight racism with racism. We're going to fight it with solidarity. And that is what they are scared of. Not just another Malcolm, another Martin Luther. That's not what they're scared of. They're intimidated by somebody with a vision to unite the hood, the trailer park, and all of the other projects under one banner of one simple concept: liberation. That's the reason why, you know, their fear and their rage had them raid his crib while he was sleeping. Why? Because white rage is always getting green lights. When black leadership gets too clear, you know, it's too strong, it's too undeniable. You know, and the wildest part about all of this is that Fred had more political clarity of what needed to take place at 21 more than most politicians will even have at, you know, at their tender ages of 1006. Imagine being so dangerous at the age of 21 that the state plots your death while you're sleeping. Honestly, you know what they was really scared of. They was scared of a young brother that could make the revolution sound cool and appealing to the younger generation, to be more inspiring, you know. He made it sound possible, and he made black sound joyful and brilliant. But really, don't let the rage distract you from the original mission. The louder that they scream, the closer we get to the truth. The angrier that they get, the more exposed the system becomes. White rage is a temper tantrum in the face of equality. So just don't ever shrink yourself. Continue to laugh at it. Continue to study it. Expose it. And most of all, for all of us, make sure that you heal from it. And just always remember that their madness is a proof of our momentum, our progression. It's proof of us aligning with our frequency. This is the Rion Frequency, and this is the come up for the culture. So until the next time, stay royal, stay rooted, and keep that frequency high.
This was the Rion Frequency, where the wealth conversation starts with mindset and ends in legacy. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, rate us 5 stars, drop a review, and help the algorithm find the culture. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, smash the like. The come up is now in session.